Movie footage used on the podcast is used for fair use. Nightmare Talkers makes no claim and only uses the footage for commentary and entertainment purposes. Please support Sinister by watching it at home media or where you can watch it. Enjoy the episode. Hey, why is this screen on here? I thought they could. Can they not see our faces the whole time, or what?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's weird.
Hmm.
Hold on, let me take that off. Oh. We have faces?
What?
What?
We do?
Since when?
We
That
just
was
grew them over a couple days,
yeah.
This
That
is
was
what we got.
that was a terrible bit.
We
Click,
tried.
click, click, click. Is it changing colors? Yes.
See.
Success.
Technology achieved.
Yeah, technology achieved. Anyways, hey guys, we can wave.
Hello.
Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to this episode, and we're actually using cameras now. It's your host, Smiley, and
It's Grace.
what? Anyways, yes, I'm beautiful.
Mm-hmm. He looks like that 24/7.
Oh yeah,
Wakes up like that.
I've actually fallen asleep in this thing before.
I believe that.
It is not fun sometimes, but it is what it is. You just gotta deal with it, right?
Yeah. If it happens, it happens.
It happens. Anyways, so today we're gonna be discussing Sinister. I can do so much with the camera now.
The people are not prepared for you on camera.
No, they're not. Anyways, yes, lights, camera, actors. Well, not lights for me. I do this on purpose to get the great
Mm-hmm.
factor in there. Anyways, so today we're discussing Sinister, and this was chosen
Yes.
by Grace. So,
Yes.
Grace, why did you choose this particular movie in the first place?
I was just scrolling through my choice of streaming service, and I didn't really see anything that was popping out at me. Um, I had seen Sinister, um, like as a recommendation in my you might like this. But I never I read the description.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could watch that at some point, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it.
And so you
I
decided to go out of your way to watch it.
Yes, this time I did, and it was it was an experience.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fun times. Anyways,
Indeed.
it is really dark in here.
I wonder why.
Because all the lights are out and it's nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so what did you think of Sinister? Because you just said you just got done watching it, right?
Like 10 minutes ago, yeah. I did not. Honestly, I immediately got within the first 2 minutes of the movie, I'm like, this is a knockoff of The Ring. That's just kind of the vibe I was getting.
It's like a better version of the Boogeyman, though.
This is true. But the way that they kind of combined the bits of The Ring and the bits of Boogeyman, it was I didn't like it.
And for you folks
I
at
mean,
home,
great
yes.
great actors, but
Yeah. And for you
the
folks at
plot was
home,
not it.
yes, there is a horror movie called The Boogeyman. That came out in 2007. And that was so bad. No, 2003. Oh, whatever. Robin will add his editor's note thing in here.
Hi, it is your editor Robin here, and it depends on what boogeyman movie y'all are talking about, because there was one that came out in 2005 and one that came out in 2023. So yeah. Also, I do agree with them. This movie, Sinister, it kind of blew. It was very boring, start to finish. There was like a couple good shots in there, but yeah, it overall was not great. I would give it a if I was one of the people in this episode, I think I would give it a 1.5 stabs, because I liked the 1.5 stabs solely because I liked some of the shots. That's pretty much it. All right, enjoy the rest of the podcast.
He's like, Smiley, you're wrong.
Smiley's wrong counter. Add a tick.
I wonder what will have more, the wrong counter or the swear counter.
These are the questions that keep me up at night.
Are they?
Some of them.
Interesting.
Not always. Every now and then.
Interesting.
Tuesdays and bank holidays, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Anyways, yeah, so actually, fun fact, this was my first time watching Sinister.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen it before. And, it was supposed to be like, boo, jump scares and all that stuff,
Right.
And, just like the one that just happened, possibly. We don't know. So we're adding random jump scares in here. We're going to put at least 4. 3 or 4 in here now.
Wait, can you hear that? It's Robin banging his head on the desk right now.
Anyways, he's probably banging his head on his desk because I'm wearing this now.
Yeah.
Oh, so wait. Who's that right next to you?
Oh, this guy?
Yeah.
This is our mascot. This is Ron.
Ron, he's a spider.
Yes, he is a giant.
Is that a lobster?
Duck scorpion.
Oh, it's a scorpion.
Yeah, he is like 4 feet long from claw to stinger. He is a very cuddly buddy, and he's our official mascot.
There you go. Hey, there he is.
There he is.
If we ever get popular enough, we're gonna make merchandise and just have him on there.
Yes.
Order now. Just kidding. Anyway, so it was my first time watching Sinister, right? And it's known for its jump scares, right? And
is it though?
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be known for its jump scares, and it just didn't really hit.
No.
It didn't really hit with me when it came to the scariness factor of the whole thing, because I think, it just doesn't pop out and scare you. I think it's just more like, it came out like in 2014, so it was during the hype of like The Conjuring and things like that.
I think it was 2012.
2012. Well, it came out during the hype of The Conjuring.
Smiley's wrong. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw something. just
Just through the screen.
Yeah. Anyways, so they did a thing. What was it? So they were kind of following the trend of jump scare movies, because that was kind of like the hype time for it.
Yeah.
And they tried, and it just, I don't know, because there's several scenes in there where it's like, he pops out, or you just see him randomly in different places, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like you waited too long for the jump scare, right?
He's the antisocial guy at the party. Like, he's just kind of hanging out in a corner.
Yeah.
And he just exists. Yeah.
And he just sat there,
anticlimactic.
and it's just like, the plot was just weird. Obviously, Bagul, he's a dope-looking character.
He was. I'll give him that.
Bagul's a very dope-looking character. And, the thing with him is the fact that, um, yeah, if words will come to my head.
If the English will happen.
Oh, let me tap on my giant forehead. English.
Man's got a 10 head.
Hey, I got horns.
Yeah.
With bells.
I haven't seen the bells before. Did you add those?
No, they've been on here.
Oh.
Yeah, but
then I just didn't look that close. Okay.
Well, so I customized this because my original name was the Jester.
Mm-hmm.
And so I customized it to have like horns with bells on it.
Okay.
So I bought this mask years ago. I think it was like 22 is when I bought this. And it's slowly starting to fall apart, sadly.
Of course.
So I'm going to have to get a new one here.
Diabolical.
Fucking diabolical.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, but back to the movie. It's just, there were several scenes that didn't play out really well, yes, but just like overall, I just think, because they kind of like, they move into this house, and it's Ethan Hawke, which he's in a lot of really good horror movies, like you got The Black Phone and things like that, and so he's like a well-known actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he did a good job with doing like what he had, right? I just don't think the writing was that good.
No.
On that movie. A lot of plot holes, and it just kind of just starts out, with like the trigger warning, I guess. Like a family hanging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just all hanging out.
Hanging around.
That was a terrible joke.
We need to start a terrible jokes counter now too, I guess.
Yeah. Let's just start a counter. Every single time we say we start a counter,
There
we're
you
gonna
go.
counter. Yeah. You're at 4.
Yep. Going for the record.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah. It just kind of starts out like that, and it's just like he finds like Super 8 film, which, if people don't know what Super 8 film is, like what they used to use back in the day.
Robin used it, I'm sure,
Probably.
That is actually before my time.
Yeah.
But like Super 8 is like that was everyone's camera back in those days, and it was filmed on, actual film, and there wasn't a lot of sound because it couldn't carry through the film, obviously.
Right.
And so you didn't have sound to it, but it did give it a good creep factor.
Mm-hmm.
I can see. Bet you can't guess where the eye holes are in this thing.
I don't even want to know.
Right there.
That's certainly a location for them, yes.
Yeah, right above the eyes.
Oh, of course.
Anyways, so yeah, before we get too off the rails here, it starts out like with like that little girl filming her family being killed off or whatever, and it was a very creative. Like I would give them this; they were very creative with the kills.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the first one where they had like the tree branch pulling them down, like pulling them up, and then the other one with the lawnmower.
Yeah.
What was it, like a toaster in the pool or something?
No,
electric?
they were duct taped to lawn chairs.
Oh yeah, they were duct
and
taped
then
to lawn
like
chairs
pulled
and
into the pool.
Yeah. And
there was the car on fire, like in the garage.
The car bomb or whatever it was, the
Yeah.
fire bomb. And dude, like I'm just saying that those are really creative kills, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably the only thing it has going for it. There is a sequel, Sinister 2, because that one did really good in the box office. I think we're criticizing it now in 2025. If you think about it, if you saw that back in 2012, I think it would have gotten you. And you would have thought it was a good film. right? You would have thought it's a
Mm-hmm.
really good film, things like that. But obviously we've had several paranormal good films since then.
Yeah, they've upped their game in the horror paranormal
In the
industry and
spoofy factor.
in the spoopies.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyways, yeah, and then Ethan Hawke's family moves to that house that they recently got killed at, right? And turns
Yeah, of
out he
course.
is a failed crime novelist.
Yeah, he's written a couple books and he had like one of them that did fairly well,
Yeah.
and he was
And
working on a new one.
yeah, it just didn't really give a whole lot of just I don't know, it was
There
like a
wasn't
very
much.
very basic like horror
Yeah.
start out, because it kind of just gave off whatchamacallit vibes. Who's that horror novelist that Stephen King wrote about himself in that one book that turned into a movie with Kathy Bates?
I don't know.
Anyways, that's a great movie. Um, anyways, I didn't realize how hard it was going to be doing this in this mask. This is full latex.
I was wondering about that. Like, you know, I don't know.
I mean, it could come off.
It could. Does
But my face is scarier underneath.
it? This is true.
Oh, thank you.
That's the real nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? Anyways, if you kind of want to say your things about the movie and like just different scenes that you probably thought could have popped out to you, and then just kind of go from there.
Yeah, honestly, like you said, the plot was just not it. The jump scares weren't scary. I could almost like anticipate them. For me, what really got me was the audio. There was the scene where, um, after all the stuff has happened, right at the end, they're like packing up their stuff, they're leaving the house, and you can just hear like this chorus of children just counting up to like 10, or like counting up or down from 10 or whatever. And it was just like, that was the part that got me, was the audio and the background noises. It wasn't the scorpion, it wasn't the snake, it wasn't like the ghoul itself. It was just the ambiance almost. It wasn't, yeah. I don't know. I thought like the ghoul is the eater of children, as it's told in the movie. And naturally, of course, they have some little scary undead children running around, which I thought the makeup team, like special effects people, they did pretty good on that, because they were kind of like almost like water rotted, it
Well,
looks like.
so it looked like they're slowly cracking because it's not like he just straight up eats the soul, right? Because that was like the thing
No,
with the
it's
ghoul.
over time.
It's over time, and so you see it's kind of like the skin, the soul itself is starting to fall apart, right?
Yeah.
And things like that, and it's starting to lose more and more of itself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did like is they didn't talk. The kids didn't really say anything.
Yeah.
That's what kind of upped the creep factor in the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing, right? That it made it creepier that the kids just went like,
They just wouldn't like this, and they wouldn't say anything. Yeah, I like that. I didn't really find a whole lot of pros for this movie, I'll be honest.
we're having too much fun.
We are.
I think with this movie, we're gonna kind of go through it, not every bit of it because we still want you to watch it, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still like it starts out with the Super 8 film, and then with like the tree getting chopped down, and then like the family shows up, and the dad he just goes into the attic. I think he heard a noise in the attic or something like that, or he just goes up there to he goes up
He
there to
was
drop
bringing
stuff
up
off.
boxes.
Yeah, and then that's when that scorpion appears out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Robin, put a
Speaking
scorpion in
of
my
which,
hand. Robin, put a scorpion in my hand. See, like that. He probably
yeah.
didn't do it. Anyways, um,
Now you just look like a fool.
yeah. Anyways, so yeah, so they, and then that's where he finds like the box of like Super 8 film and the camera
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, like conveniently placed in the attic.
Yeah, it says home movies on the side of the box.
Yeah. And then he sees like the names of it, like barbecue of 80 something, and just all kinds of
Yeah, pool party.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he, I think all the actors and actresses did a great job for what they had. And the director, I
Yeah.
feel like he tried to do his best for what he had. It was just the writing.
Mm-hmm.
The writing of the movie was just off. It was just
Yeah.
off. Just didn't do that well. And so I just think that was kind of like that what kind of hurt the movie, because then immediately he starts watching that film and it's just like, I get it, movie logic and all that stuff, but still, like, you don't just find a box of Super 8 film and a camera,
Right.
in inside your house and then start watching it.
I volunteer as tribute.
And
Mm-hmm.
and it turns out like the family that was there previously got killed, right? And you learn later on who that family was. And so
Yeah.
but still it's just like, to be fair, I didn't watch a whole lot of it. Just like it, I don't know, it just didn't really catch my eye.
Honestly, I had to. So I started earlier this afternoon. I started watching it and got 10 minutes in and was like,
I made a
I gotta come
mistake.
back to this. I'm already bored. And like, I was just, I
I
don't
made a
know.
mistake
They
choosing
did.
this.
Yes, I was like, after it, I told my boyfriend, I'm like, this was an hour and a half that I just
Wasted.
can't get back. Yep.
And the movie's long. Long too. It's not like a short movie. It's like an hour and 50. It's almost 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And so it just wasn't. I don't know. It's just like he starts watching the Super 8 film, and that's when he starts seeing all like the different deaths and things like that, and he sees it like on a day-to-day basis. And that's also, he starts kind of getting in contact with like that professor, because he starts seeing like symbols and things like that. Again, I'm not saying this chronologically at this point.
Right.
Like he gets a hold of that.
We've given up on that, I think.
Yeah. He sees like these symbols and things like that, and he talks to the professor, which is, if you are a Daredevil fan or a Marvel fan or whatever, that's Wilson Fisk.
Needs to die before it can be reborn.
And Daredevil. That's the Kingpin.
I thought he looked familiar.
And
like,
so
I know the face.
yeah. And so like and he also talks to the cops, because the entire town hates him. Like hates them. Because he
Yeah, they hate the books and stuff. Yeah.
Except for Officer So and So, which that's his name.
Deputy so and so.
Deputy So and So, that's his name. And so and they're like sitting there, because I remember when they first moved in, Deputy So and So and like another deputy were standing there, and Deputy So and So was like looking at one of his books, and then like the sheriff shows up, right?
Yeah.
And like to help them. I don't know why they were there. I think just to harass them.
No, Deputy so and so knew he was moving in and wanted his autograph.
Well, not like, but the sheriff showed up just to harass them.
Yeah, no, the sheriff was just there to just be a jerk.
Yeah. And so the sheriff showed up there just to harass, them. Hey, look, is that better lighting?
There you are. We can see all of your spookiness now.
I don't know, I think it looked better without that. We gotta maximize.
I mean, it's a little indented, but you know, it's
We gotta maximize spoofiness.
yes.
Anyways, so yeah, so Deputy So and So just he starts talking to them, like talking to him and things like that, and he also gets like Deputy So and So to help him with like the
Yeah.
crimes and things like that, and it's just like overall just looking into that. But he also, one of the things, like when he first opened that box that said Home Films, it wasn't Home Films, it was actually Dubby, today's sponsor.
Oh. He
Dramatic.
shotgunned it, threw it aside,
Yeah, he wanted
reached
to.
in, took out another.
Yeah. So, anyways, Dubby. Yes, I'm trying to look into the camera. I want you to meet my gaze with one eyeball because the other one is looking the other direction. It's a lazy eye, ish. Anyways, yeah. So Dubby is a gamer energy drink. You get, it's zero sugar, zero caffeine. In some of them, you can get caffeinated ones as well, right? It's just a powder. You add water, shake it up, and poof, you got a drink, right? And today, if you use promo code Nightmare Talker at checkout, you get 10% off your order. Again, that's w.gg with promo code Nightmare Talker at checkout. And they have like tubs, they got hoodies and things like that. We'll cut to a video of me wearing the hoodie because I do have a Dubby hoodie.
Fab Five Freddy told me everybody's fly. DJ's spinning, I said my. Flash is fast, Flash is cool. Francois Sabah, Flash ain't no dude, and you don't stop. Sure shot.
Just
Flaunting it.
yeah. Anyways, and just things like that. So, anyways, yeah, so go to w.gg or link down in the description. Yes, I finally figured out how to put the link down in the description. And get yourself some today. What was that? Just the.
How many episodes have we done now and you just learned how?
Well, so back when I first started YouTube back in the day, you can't find
Way
this
back when,
account
yeah.
anymore. Not way back when, it was 6 years ago. I started YouTube in 2019.
Okay.
Anyways, you didn't have to like do like different verifications to add like other links to the description. Now you do, right? Because a lot of people have like taken content from like other people's content and then add scammer links to the descriptions and things like that.
That makes sense.
And so it just kind of screwed everyone over. So, anyways, back to the movie. This is gonna be a short podcast.
Yeah.
This is because we just couldn't really find anything like really good with the movie itself, because it's just like, oh, jump scare, oh, there's Magoo, oh, there's Magoo, here's Ethan Hawke walking around with a fucking baseball bat. Yes, I cussed twice, I don't care. Walking around with a baseball bat. It's like, what are you gonna do? It's literally a demon.
Yeah.
It's a demon. Yes, I'm gonna hit it with my baseball bat. Batter up, mother.
Surely it will miss. Like,
Yeah.
surely.
Yeah. And so, anyways, he starts watching that Super 8 film and things like that, and he gets Deputy So-and-so to help him out because he's like trying to figure out, because every single one of those cases the child goes missing. No one knows why, but
Mystery.
mystery. Anyways, so the child goes missing, and so he believes it's like a murderer going across different states and killing these people and things like that. But also you got to see, like, that person's been doing it for a while because it goes all the way back to like the 50s.
Yeah, it was like 1966, I think, was the first one.
Yeah, and this is like, and that movie's based in 2012, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's what, he's just been going around for 50 plus years
Yeah, he's moves pretty fast for
for an old guy. He's
old
like
guy,
in the
I guess. Yeah.
70s, I guess, or something like that. Anyways, and so yeah, it's just like there's lots of plot holes in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, and they were trying to make you think it's one kid, but it turns out it was the other kid, and so on and so forth, and it just really didn't help out with that movie. But like I believe it has a really high rating on Rotten Tomatoes. But again,
Really?
it came out like it came out in 2012, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I saw it in theaters, I think I'd enjoy it more. Back then, but
Yeah, cause
you know, was it like 13 years later?
yeah,
They've done better.
cause like on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it isn't that high.
Yeah.
And then like a 62% on Popcorn Meter, right? So like those are like the
Mhm.
casual watchers, because Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes it's only critics, yeah,
Critics, yeah.
and then the rest is like your audience, you know. So
Mhm.
like obviously it did really good for itself, and that's why there's a
Yeah.
sequel, and things like that. And so I don't know, it's just trying to find something good in that movie. It's just really hard because like were there a couple of good jump scares? Yeah, there were a couple of good jump scares. But out
Yeah.
of all of them, it's just like the annoying thing was they just waited too long. Waited too long
Yeah.
before before the jump, right? And so
Mhm.
at that point, it's like you're just anticipating it at that point, right? You're ready
Right.
for it, you know?
Yeah, there was that scene where he is hearing noises up in the attic, and he grabs a knife and goes to check it out, as one does. Um, and it was like it must have been like a minute and a half to 2 minutes for him hearing the noises and the actual jump scare. It it took him, like, he dragged butt up into the attic only to find a snake.
Yeah.
Like, it was
And then didn't do anything with
disappointing.
the snake. You could have just
No, it just slithered off.
yeah, or picked it up and put it outside because it wasn't a poisonous snake.
No.
It was just a king snake. Fun fact. A fun fact with Smiley. Anyway, so in just random, in the first Friday the 13th movie,
Hmm.
they killed an actual snake. That scene where the snake pops out in Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
it was actually one of the people who worked on set. It was his pet snake.
Oh no.
And they killed it.
Oh, that's the price you pay for being on a movie, I guess.
Yeah. But anyways, and so yeah, I think it's just trying to find something, because we're trying to make it this at least 45 minutes to an hour long. We're 32 minutes in.
Yeah.
So
The part that I was
Grace, if
kinda-
you want to kind of take over from here, because
yeah,
let me think.
the part that I was trying to like figure out where it pieced together was the son had night terrors. The stress of moving, and I mean, I don't fault him for it. I just was like, how does this kind of piece together? And then we find out Bagul is the eater of children. And so automatically my brain was assuming, you know, Bagul is targeting the son, and he's like going through into his nightmares, and like that's how he's kind of picking him apart from the inside.
Which would have made sense.
But then yeah, that's what made sense to my mind. But then it turns out, nope, kid was just stressed from the move.
And it's like,
I don't know,
yeah,
Yay!
yeah. The
Yay!
camera's right there. Yeah.
There it is. There you are. Yes, sir. I don't know. And I mean, the wife, I don't know. it was poorly written.
Because the wife was just like 100% against him. It's like he's filthy rich, right?
Right.
And so you want him to be inspired to write another book so you can get more money on top of that, right? Because it wasn't like he is a struggling author just
No, they were
beginning
doing
out
well.
and then trying to write, something and she's against his dreams. That would make sense then. But it's like he was successful. Did he come out with a few things of crap? Yeah. But,
Bound to happen.
still it's just like it doesn't help the narrative that, she was 100% against that dream. Like, I don't want you to write about true crime anymore and yada yada yada, unsolved cases, and it's just like you guys are millionaires. I mean, you saw their house, like their old house. It's a
The
mansion,
mansion. Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
it was just it's just like why are you against that dream?
I don't know.
You
I
gotta
wouldn't
push
have
for
even
it.
moved, Yeah.
Just like push it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, it wasn't. We talk about all of its flaws and things like that, but there was a lot of passion behind that movie,
Yeah.
right? And also, this is just a podcast of just two people judging this movie. We encourage you guys to go watch it yourselves on Max or whatever you can, whatever streaming platform or home media, whatever.
Wherever you get your movies.
Yeah, because it's just like, we're just two people criticizing a movie that, we think it's bad, but someone else could watch it and just think, oh, it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And things like that. And like there's like decent jump scares in there, like I said, but it just didn't, like a lot of the jump scares just like it didn't really hit, right? Because I think
No.
they added one too many in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
good, especially like like doing like something that's like an hour long, right? To add like two, 3, 4, 2 or 3, right? 2 or 3 jump scares
Yeah.
in there to kind of get the people, focused in and ready to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't help with the movie if you're doing that. It's like once every like 10 minutes there was a jump scare,
Yeah.
and it's just like you
It
just
took the fun out of it.
yeah. And like the only one that really got me was like the ending one.
Mm-hmm.
But again, but it still took way too long.
Yeah.
Because like the slow pan, backing up, and then all of a sudden, he's there. Like, oh yeah, he got me because there's no music. Here's the other thing, like what makes a good jump scare, everything goes silent.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everything goes silent, and you can take as much time as you want if it's silent.
Never let him know your next move.
Yeah, exactly. Think he's moving around, going around the house, things like that. Completely silent. Boom, jump scare right there. Right? It could be like 5 minutes straight of just complete silence, and then something pops out.
Yeah.
And that works. But when it's like a movie, like when there's music and then it kind of gets like darker and then it fades out for a second, but you can still hear it, and then it's loud. Then the music just turns up really loud with Bagul popping out. It just, I don't know. It just didn't. I make scarier jump scare videos. I do better.
Yeah, I was wearing my earbuds to watch it, and now I can't hear because like the audio was so loud behind it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
It just doesn't help with that fact because it just, I don't know. It just doesn't. We're trying to drag this episode along because we don't want a really short episode, right?
Yeah.
We don't want a short episode because you guys, hopefully you guys listen all the way, like, follow, subscribe, all that fun jazz, by the way. But I think we picked the wrong movie to do the cameras.
I think so too. Yeah.
And this is your fault.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's your fault. I blame the red hair dye at the bottom of your.
Yeah.
That's...
You know, it's yeah.
I gotta have some type of emo in my hair so I can say I'm an emo girl.
I used to be back in high school, but we don't talk about those days.
Oh, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Guess what? I was emo back in high school too.
I
And
do believe that.
and also I was actually the quiet kid in high school.
I
I
believe that.
wasn't really social at all. Now, obviously, I'm different now as an adult. I'm a lot more social, right?
Right.
And things like that. And so, I don't know. Anyways, we're getting completely off topic. So,
This is how you drag it out right
yeah,
there.
yeah. I don't know, I don't know, can you think of something to kind of find any type of like sliver besides like the children counting down, any sliver of
The
grace?
dog. There was that scene with the dog where he goes outside because he sees Bagul like hiding in the bushes just watching. And so he goes outside with his baseball bat and he goes and looks in the bushes. He's got like his flashlight on his phone. And then his son is there like having a episode, I guess you'd call it, of his night terrors. And so he brings his son back in the house. He goes outside to grab his phone that he dropped. And there's this like massive dog. He straight up says it's like a Cujo dog. And the dog is just barking like mad because there's the children from the previous murders, like kind of standing in the background, like surrounded by fog, like the smoke machine they had back there. I just like dogs, so I wanted to talk about the dog. Honorable mention to the dog there.
He gets one treat.
He does. He is a good boy.
He's a goodies boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. You know, for the audio listeners, they're gonna have like, what the is going on?
They're just staring at their phones right now, or whatever they're listening to this on, and being like, "Is he okay?
No,
Do we
no,
need to call somebody?"
no. So I'm getting ready to come out with my own merch for like my TikTok account, and it's gonna be a
Oh,
T-shirt
really?
that says if someone asks me how I'm doing, and on the back it will say physically if I'm doing okay, and the back will just say physically yes, mentally no.
Yeah, I'd buy it. Mm-hmm. Send me one for sure.
Look for that soon. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just, again, this is gonna be short. I'm gonna say this is gonna be like only like 45 minutes because I just couldn't find anything good with the movie. Just boring.
Yeah, like if it was in 2012 or whenever it came out, I think I'd have a higher opinion of it. But
the Scorpion has more personality than the movie did.
Right, exactly.
Because it was just bad writing, and then to like the plot of it, it's like, oh, so it turns out how the people died was they were in a previous murdered victim's house, and then they moved to another house, and it just carried on like that. That is the dumbest explanation.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense to kind of like not connect things, but it's also like it didn't take them long to connect it, right?
Right.
And so it didn't take Deputy so and so long to figure out where the dots were connected, and the whole thing is like, oh, this person was in this house, they moved to this one, they died, and then other people moved to that house, and then they moved to another one, they died. Okay, oh, so that's what's going on, right? And so the plot just kind of fell apart. You know? And so I don't know, it's just yeah. Again, we encourage you guys to go watch it. If you want to watch it, go for it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyways, oh, look at that.
There he is in all of his spooky glory.
No, I was talking about behind me. So, anyways, if you want to kind of finish this out and rate it real quick.
I'm giving it 1 stab out of 5. I think there was like 3 things that I liked, and the rest was garbage.
I think for me, it was like I would say the same thing. Actually, I'll just give it a half.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say screw it overall is half a stab because it just there wasn't any thing on it. So
No.
anyways, again, sorry for the short episode, but that's all we can really say about this. So
Yeah.
Grace, you want to talk to the people before we go?
Just thanks. Yeah, for listening to us rant about a crappy movie. But if you go watch it, comment your opinion of it below. Or unless you're just listening to this, then you can't, I guess. But anyway, go
You
watch
can leave
it.
comments on Spotify.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do that then.
So, anyways, yeah. Anyways, sorry for the background noise, roommate.
You're good.
Anyways, so yeah, well, thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Yes, you'll be seeing more of our beautiful faces. Me, I'll be interchanging my face every episode.
Yeah. He has multiple of them.
Yes, just like my split personality. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching, listening, all that fun stuff. And as always, be spooky.